Is it audible? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Okay, in the previous class, we are discussing the basic meaning definitions. Just quickly gone through these things. Uh, the meaning definition of manufacturing, then different type of manufacturing process, uh, like assembly, machining, and forming process we have already discussed. Then the types of manufacturing process and other type of manufacturing process we have already discussed. So today we are discussing the manufacturing process planning, definition, scope, and elements. If you go to any kind of company, the planning process can result in increased output in case of higher precision and faster turnaround for vital business tasks. The process is described as a set of steps that result in specific outcomes. In case of manufacturing, it converts input into output. So in case of manufacturing process planning, it is also called the manufacturing planning, the material processing engineering, machining, routing, and it is act of preparing detailed work instruction to produce a part. So it is a complete description of specific stages in the production process. So if you go to any kind of industry, like your Tata Group, even if SAIL, that is Steel Authority of India, even if NALCO, they make a particular standard operating procedures or procedure manual. In that manual, how to assign the number of people, what is the workload, what is the time of workload, that is 8 hours for any kind of worker, that should be directly mentioned, even if the material processing details, the process engineering, so like what type of equipment, tools, machines, and different routing of machines should be clearly mentioned in case of that SOP. The next is the manufacturing process planning determine how the product will be produced or service will be provided. The process planning convert design information. So as you know, in case of manufacturing, you must go through the design information regarding your product and what are the different process steps and instructions to the powerfully and effectively manufacturing the particular product in a manufacturing environment. Going to the next slide. So in case of manufacturing process planning or your process planning, the most important thing is your product design. These are the basic inputs, and basic input fed in the process planning, and the process planning result, that is the scheduling and production control over the manufacturing activities. And the next part is, in case of process planning, it requires machines, tools, equipments, and even if they produce the route chart of different equipment and machines. Going to the next one, in case of objective of manufacturing process planning, if you go to the point number 1, the process planning is planned to renovate design specification into manufacturing instructions and to make product within the function and quality specification at least possible cost. So it is the duty of operation manager, or you can say it is the production manager. They have to minimize the different level of cost, starting from the raw material flow from one workstation to other workstations, uh, specific level of inventory, and proper, or you can say that is adequate maintenance should be provided with the least cost. That is the prime functionality of production manager. And this will result to reduce the cost due to fewer staff requirement. That is why nowadays companies are hiring highly skilled workers to complete the same process and higher competency by reducing the process steps such as loop, greater precision. So as far as concerned with manufacturing, so if you take the example of automotive industries, so there are more complex objects and complex shapes should be manufactured by precise manner. So remove the human error, or you can say it is increase the efficiency of machine as well as the worker who is directly involved in the number of machine workstations. Uh, that should be directly go to the greater precision, and by, as you know, in case of industries, there are so many checkpoints are there, and for measure the flow of raw material from one workstation to other workstation. And if you go to the next slide, go to that particular point, the success measure to make sure process steps are completed precisely and better understanding by all employees to fulfill their department objectives. That is why every department and sub-department have their own standard operating procedure. For example, in case of, as I told, in case of cement industries, there are different departments is there, crushing department is there, raw material department is there, raw material handling department is there, the mechanical maintenance department is there, electrical maintenance department is there, and they have their own standard operating procedure manuals, and according to that only they strictly follow to enhance the quality and precisely run their manufacturing process. The next is, if you go to the point number 3, the process planning deals with selection of process and the determination of condition of the particular process. The particular operation and condition have to realize in order to change the raw material into specific shape. In case of manufacturing environment, the process planning is play a vital role for producing precise product, or the product should be clearly specified or clearly understood by all employees who are directly or indirectly involved in their departmental objective as well as the organizational objectives. So all the specification and condition of operation are included in the process plan. That is why if you go to manufacturing unit, in case of integrated organizations like steel industries, like aluminum industries, like mining industries, they have their particular specification and condition of operations, which include, which directly include in case of process plan. Then the last point, the process plan is a certificate such as engineering drawing. Both engineering drawing and process plan represent the fundamental document for manufacturing of particular product. So before going to the design, all should be done for engineering drawing, like your product specifications, product length, product dimensions. Those should be written or that should be documented through the particular engineering drawing. The process planning influence time to market and production cost. So sequentially, the planning activities have immense importance in competitive advantage. So these are the things which is directly increase the productivity as well. It is also immense the importance of competitive edge as far as concerned in the market. The next one is these are the effect. If you implement the manufacturing process planning, the process planning is reduce the production cost, and it also increase the competitive advantage and timely delivered to the market, even if more amount of price will be included. So this effect will be included in case of manufacturing process. Going to the next one. And the next one is principle of manufacturing process planning. The process planning includes the activities and the function to develop a comprehensive plan, instruction to produce a part. The planning start with engineering drawing, part and material list is a forecast of demand. So as you know, in case of forecast of demand, which is concerned in case of manufacturing process, the planning starts with engineering drawing, which contain specification of product, then list of materials, and demand forecasting, whether it should be qualitative or quantitative demand forecasting. The result of planning are routine which specify operations, operation sequence, work centers, standard, tool and fixtures. So this routine becomes a major input to the manufacturing resource planning to define the operation of production activities control purpose. So these things should be done for controlling and monitoring all the activities of productions, and also define required resources for capacity requirement planning purpose. The next one is that these are the principles. So these are the general principles for evaluating and enhancing process are follows. The first one is define the output and the look forward the input needed to achieve the output. The next one is describe the goal of the particular process, access them frequently to make sure that they are still appropriate. This would include specific measure like quality, scope, and turnaround times. When map process appear as a logical flow without loop back to the earlier step of department. So as you know, in case of if you go to the next point, In that point, any step executed need to be included in the document. In case of manufacturing process, every step should be documented for future use or for future research. If not, should be eliminated or documented depending upon whether it is necessary to the particular process. And the last one is the people involved in the process should be consulted as they often have most current information. So these are the principles of your manufacturing process. The next is the major steps in manufacturing process. The manufacturing process has numerous steps to complete the project that includes first one is definition and documentation, review, improvement of steps in business process used in a particular company. We will discuss one by one. In case of definition, first step is to describe what the process should be accomplished. It includes query like what is the output of the process, who received the output, how do they define the success, what are the input for the particular process, and are they define the success measures in place such as turnaround time or quality score. And the last one is and are there specific checkpoint in the process that need to be addressed. In case of integrated organization, or you can say it is large scale industries, there are more number of checkpoints should be assigned by the production department, where they can be easily measure the success as well as the failure of that particular process. The next is documentation. During documentation stage, just a minute. So during documentation stage, interview are conducted with the company personnel to determine the step, action they take as a part of specific process. The result of this interview is written down generally in the form of flowchart with copies of any form used to attach. So these flowchart are given to the involved department to review to make sure information has been correctly captured in this particular chart. So that is why the flow chart of manufacturing process should be distributed in a correct manner in the correct form to the concerned department and sub-departments. The next one is your improvement of step in business process. Sorry, the next one is review. So in case of the flow chart is given to the department and sub-department that need to be reviewed for potential problem area. The process planning in manufacturing maybe include the following activities. The first one is selection of raw material stock, determination of machining methods, selection of machine tool, selection of cutting tools, selection of design or fixture and jigs, determination of setup, determination of machining sequence, calculate or determination of cutting conditions. And the ninth one is calculation and planning tool path. And the last one is processing the process plan. So these are the review. These are the points which is included in case of review. Going to the next one, which is the the last one is the improvement of step in business process used in company. So after definition, documentations, and review, you need to be go for your that is improvement of steps by proper measures of particular process. The next one is that is why nowadays computer aided process planning should be introduced. We'll discuss that one. So in case of computer aided process planning, the manufacturing has been following an evolutionary step to improve computerized process planning in the following 5 steps. The first stage of computer aided process planning that includes manual classification and standardize the process plan. So according to the design specification, the design team provides the standardize of that particular design, and the manufacturing team should be proceed according to the standardize given by the design department. Then stage number 2, computer maintain process plan. Stage number 3, variant of your computer-aided process planning. Stage number 4, generative computer-aided process planning. And stage 5, that is dynamic and generative computer-aided process planning. We'll discuss one by one. So in case of stage 1, when a new part is initiated, the process plan for that family would be manually recovered, marked up, and retyped. While this is improved output, but it did not enhance the quality of planning of particular process. So in case of stage 2, the computer-aided process planning originally developed a device to electronically storage process plan. Once it was shaped, recover it, embed it for a new part, and print the plan. It is called stage 2, where the computer-aided process planning originally developed, and it is a printed version which is known as stage 2. The other ability of this particular stage is table-driven cost. Standardized estimation system should be provided by number of machines, which is directly synchronized with your computer. The next is stage number 3. In this stage, computer-aided approach of variant computer-aided process planning is based on group technology, which include coding and classification approach to recognize huge number of attributes and parameters. So whenever you merge the stage number 3, the group technology or your cellular manufacturing system is enabled, which provide coding and classification of huge number of parts and components with attributes different parameters. Stage number, going to the next point, these attributes permit or these parameters are permit the system to choose baseline for part family and achieve 90% of planning work. So these are done through the synchronization of machine with your computer. So if you go to the place like your CPET, if you go to the place like your CTDC, there are more number of machines are synchronized for mass production. So that is why nowadays, by eliminating human error or any kind of dimensional error, they employed a computer-aided process planning. And in that process planning, as you directly, if you go to the step number 1, that is manually classification or standardize the particular process, then convert into the manufacturing computer manufacturing process plan. And in case of third one, you can implement the cellular manufacturing technique or group technology for huge number of part or parameters. Then next one is if you go to point number 3, the schemer will be added remaining 10% effort modifying the fine-tuning the particular process plan. The baseline process plan stored the computer are manually entered using super planner concept. So whenever you enter the cellular coding and classification approach to the machines by the help of synchronization of computers, the computer provides the basic commands regarding the process plan. And it also stores all the data related to manufacturing manually by using manual enter and which convert the super planner concept, developing the standardized plan. Going to the next one, I just repeat the point number 3. In case of schemers, that is manually entered data using a super planner concept. So that super planner concept provides the master schedule of your process plan by the help of computer-aided process plan. The next is developing standardized plan based on the accumulation of experience and knowledge of multiple planners and manufacturing engineers. So this computer-aided process planning is used for, you can say that it's mass production of integrated and complex part by eliminating the human error, and it's done its job, or you can say that the process plan should be done in a precise manner. Going to the next one, stage number 4. In case of stage number 4, it is the generative computer-aided process planning. In this stage, the process planning decision rules are developed into the system. The decision rules will be work based on parts group technology, or you can say that is the part group means you have to segregate those complex part into small parts and feature technology coding to produce the process plan that will require minimal manual interaction and modifications. So while computer-aided process planning system moves towards being generative, a pure generative system that can create complete process plan for part classification and other design data is a goal of the future. These data are used for the future use in case of if the customer is required same amount and same specification of product. So this type of generative system will utilize artificial intelligence type capability to produce the process plan as well as fully integrated computer integrated manufacturing environment. So why I'm telling in case of CPED, why I'm telling in case of CTDC, because by the help of synchronizing computer with your machines, uh, the artificial intelligence will be capable to produce the process plan and which is fully integrated with your computer integrated manufacturing environment. So due to that thing, you can enhance the precision as well as the quality of product. And the last one is, so this last one, the process plan developed with computer-aided process plan system at stage number 5 could differ in due to cost depending upon on the resources and workload in the factory. So dynamic generative computer-aided process planning also entail the need for online display of the process plan on work order oriented basis to cover the appropriate process plan was provided to the flows. So finally, in case of dynamic, in the last stage, the dynamic and generative computer-aided process plan, which provide a online display process plan on work order oriented which basically include the appropriate process plan to the subfloors. So these are the things which is considered in case of computer process planning. The next one is in case of manufacturing concept planning. The next topic is manufacturing concept planning. The solution of manufacturing process planning is a complicated and combined problem. Therefore, it is necessary to divide the tasks into hierarchical levels. The first level of feature is called primary process planning or manufacturing concept planning, which is the conceptual level of planning process. So basically in case of preliminary process planning, which includes the preparation of process planning of blank manufacturing and part manufacturing and the assembly. The second one is correction the design document, the view of manufacturability and assemblability. The third one is selection of manufacturing systems, and the fourth one is analysis of manufacturing tasks, estimation of manufacturing cost, and time data should be noted. So these are the things which is considered in case of preliminary process planning, or you can say that is manufacturing concept planning. Going to the next one, if you go to this particular pyramid diagram in case of level of manufacturing process plan, the first one is preliminary planning. The planning the sequence of operations. Suppose you can choose the best example in case of integrated steel plant, or you can take the process industry like sugar or cement. In that case, the manufacturing process planning should be done. First one is the preliminary planning stage. The next level is the planning the sequence of operations, then operation planning, then operation element planning, and post processing should be considered. Going to the next one. The next topic is the function of preliminary process planning. The preliminary process planning is different from other level in many aspects. The most important difference is that some tasks regard the assembled product as a basic unit instead of parts. In other words, the preliminary examiners in the same time every part of the product and their influence, whereas the object of other level is only one part. So this preliminary process or the function of preliminary process are follows. First one is collecting the technological data. That means whenever you assign a particular person in a workstation, the person should be clearly define his job, what to do, what to produce, and how much to produce. That is the most important data provided through the technical specification. Sorry, along with the technical specification of machines. So for collecting the technological data for process planning of blank manufacturing, the part manufacturing, and the assemble, the rationalizing the manufacturing process, prepare the manufacturabilities and assembling the correct part, and assembling and the blank design documentation should be done. The next function of preliminary process planning is determining the strategy of process planning, which means the selection of manufacturing system and actual manufacturing variant to be considered. And the last one is analyze the manufacturing tasks, estimation of manufacturing cost and time data. So these are the things should be considered as a function of preliminary. The next function are, in case of new order, the process preliminary planning is more complicated because you have to customize your capacity requirement. So these necessary steps are follows for new order process in case of preliminary planning. The first one is preparation of manufacturability and assemblability, correct design documentation. The second one is select of blank type and design of blank type parts. Then analysis of manufacturing tasks, then assign the manufacturing system, selection of optimal manufacturing variant, and the last one is estimation of manufacturing cost and time data. So these points should be considered whenever you choose new order in case of process of preliminary planning. The next one is, so by connecting this preliminary planning and other area is determined by the planning task. I will describe how the connection between the preliminary planning and other areas. So first, if you consider the preliminary process planning, the company management is there, the design engineering is there, the planning and assembly department is there, the planning of part manufacturing is there, planning of blank manufacturing is there, and production planning and scheduling is there. If you take the production planning and scheduling, company management, and design management, these are vice versa to the preliminary process planning. How? For example, in case of company management, they are providing the basic decision regarding the process planning in case of manufacturing process. So that is why if you go to the brief, the data flow between preliminary planning and the management, the design engineering unit, the production planning unit is bi-directional, but the connection of field process planning is just supply. So starting from the production planning schedules, these are bi-directional, the company management is bi-directional, the design and engineering also bi-directional. The next one is that the process of preliminary planning. So in case of aim of manufacturing process planning is to generate the manufacturing document for fulfilling of planned production project by production unit, considering the financial aim of company management. Therefore, one of the basic item in case of information preliminary planning is the long terminate production plan. The actual design documentation, which consists of assembly drawing, detailed drawing, bill of material list, and other description is provided by the design engineering unit. Going to the next slide. So if you go to this design department, the first step of preliminary planning is design analysis. So as far as concerned the design analysis, the design engineering department provide the design of particular product and design of parts, then design of parts to complete design documentation. But in case of preliminary process, which is directly connected to your design of product, that is assembly analysis, and the next one is in case of design of part, is manufacturing analysis done. The basic aim of this step in case of preliminary planning, the design analysis rationalize of manufacturing process, lowering the cost by analyzing the product from viewpoint of manufacturing. So design analysis indicate a feedback to the design engineering unit, and it assures the correct and complete design documentation. The design analysis consists of two main tasks, that is the analysis of assembly and analysis of manufacturability. So these are the things which is considered as the first step of preliminary planning, that is design analysis. The next one is, so if you go to the second step of manufacturing analysis of the parts, which may indicate design modification demand too. So this is necessary for this necessary data of this analysis is manufacturing capacity, which lists of manufacturing method, accuracy, size of workspace, or you can say that the manufacturing of manufacturing environment that also include machines, tools, jig and fixture, etc. The analysis can be made in two approach, that is rule-based approach, manufacturability analysis, and plan-based approach to the manufacturability analysis. We will discuss the rule-based approach and plan-based approach. So in case of rule-based approach, the first one is the part is there, then manufacturability analysis is there, and resultant feedback is there. But in case of part based, the part is there, then manufacturing demand is there, then manufacturability analysis there, which includes method and equipment, and finally resultant feedback is there. So this is the schematic or step-by-step view of manufacturing analysis of parts based upon rule-based and plan-based approach to the manufacturability analysis. The next one is, in case of rule-based approach, the analysis is executed directly on geometrical data by rules. The design department is responsible for providing all the specification in the form of geometrical data. And the rules are domain and environment specific because the general solution of problem is impossible or need to a large set of rules, which can be unmanageable and utilizable. In case of plan-based approach, it is based upon analysis of skeletal process plan. On the strength of geometrical data of the part, the manufacturing demands are detected and the manufacturing sub-process can be assigned. So in case of plant-based, you have to go for different sub-process which is assigned to the manufacturing department. The analysis is suitable if required manufacturing demand can be satisfied on potential manufacturing systems. Going to the next slide. Then the next one is requirement of good manufacturing and assemble lines. So in case of requirement of good manufacturing and assemble line, you must consider the facility layout or plant layout. So as you know, we have already discussed in case of operation management 1 and operation management 1, the plant layout. The plant layout refers to the physical arrangement of manufacturing facilities which are used in production. The plant layout is the plan of optimum arrangement of facility including personnel, operating equipment, storage space, material handling equipment, and other supporting service, along with the design of base structure to contain all these particular facilities. So this is the prime definition of your plant layout. Going to the next one. So these are the objective of plant layout: streamline the flow of material through the plant from whenever you insert the raw material inside the premise, the flow should be streamlined according to the design specification, according to the manufacturing activities that should be passed from one place to other place. The next is facilitate the manufacturing process, minimize the material handling and cost, effective utilization of man, machine, or you can say that is man, equipment, and space. The next is flexibility, manufacturing operation and arrangement. And the next one is provide for employee convenience, safety, and comfort. The next is minimize overall production time. The last one is facilitate the organization structures. So these are the basic objectives of your plant layout. Going to the next one, it is factor affecting facility layout. The first one is plant location and buildings. So why were these factors are considered? Suppose you are choose a place like Jharkhand or a place like Telangana for tea production. So these factors directly affect in case of plant location and building also, because these are not geo or environmentally accepted region for tea productions. The next is nature of product, type of industries, plant environment, repair and maintenance, management policies there, human needs, and different type of machines and equipments. These are directly affect to the facility layout. So going to the next one. These are the principle of plant layout. The first principle, that is principle of integrations. A good layout is one of the integrated main material machines and supporting service and other in order to get the optimum utilization of resources and maximum effectiveness. The next principle is your principle of minimum distance. The principle is concerned with minimum travel or movement or men or materials. The next principle is principle of cubic space utilization. So whenever you go to the shop floor, each space should be properly utilized. The good layout is one that utilizes both horizontal as well as the vertical spaces. Although height is also utilized effectively. The next is principle of flow. A good layout is one that makes the material to move in forward direction toward the completion stage. The principle of maximum flexibility. Next principle is the principle of maximum flexibility. The layout is one that can be altered without much cost and time. That is, the future requirements should be taken into account while designing the present layout. Next principle is principle of safety, security, and satisfaction. A good layout is one that gives due consideration to the worker safety and satisfaction and safeguard the plant and machinery against fire, theft. And the last principle is principle of minimum handling. A good layout is that reduce the material handling to the minimum. That means the number of workstations should be placed in a proper distance. That should be, in that case, the material handling should be minimum. Going to the next slide. The next one is the type of layout, the process layout. First one is the process layout, or it is also known as the functional layout or job shop layout. The next one is product layout, or it is also known as line processing layout or flow line layout. The next is static layout. The next one is group technology layout or cellular manufacturing layout. And the last one is hybrid or combination layout. We'll discuss one by one. First one is your process layout. The process layout is recommended for batch productions, and all machines perform similar type of operation are grouped at one location in the process layout. That is all, for example, in case of all lathe and milling machines, etc., are grouped in a particular workshop to be clustered like a group. The next is, thus in this particular process layout, the arrangement of facility are grouped together according to their functions. The next is next point. The process layout are quite common in service environment. Example including hospitals, universities, bank, auto repair shop, airlines, and public libraries. These are the basic example of your process layout. So here the example of your process layout in case of hospital or in case of privatized hospitals. Suppose a person came with a broken legs, he directly go to the emergency stage room, then emergency stage room to his medical report is diagnosed in case of laboratories. Then he directly shifted to the emergency bed. Then he takes the pharmacy and bill and exit. But in case of, if you consider the layout in case of hospital, they have arranged the emergency room for admissions. Then next is the emergency stage rooms, then surgery, then radiography, then emergency beds and pharmacy and filling and exit. So these are the proper layout in case of process-oriented layout for a particular hospitals. The next one, the advantages of process layout. It reduces the investment of machine as they are general purpose of machines. Greater flexibility in the productions, greater scope of expansion as the capability of different lines can be easily increased. The next point is easy to handle breakdown of equipments by transferring work to another machine or another workstations. Then full utilization of equipments. And the last one is there is greater incentive of individual worker to increase his performance. So these are the important advantages as far as concerned with the process layout. Then the disadvantages of process layout: difficult in case of production control, difficult in case of movement of material due to mechanical equipment and devices. The third one is production time is more, as work in progress has to travel from place to place in search of machines. Lower productivity due to number of step up. Throughput, that is time gap between in and out in the process, that is throughput is time is longer. The next is product layout. So in case of product layout, in this type of layout, the machine and auxiliary services are allocated according to the process sequence. If the volume of production of one or more product is large, the facility can be arranged to achieve efficient flow of material and lower the cost per unit. The special machines are used which perform the requirement of function quickly and reliably. The best example you could take in case of automotive sector. So here the schematic view of repetitive and continuous processing as far as concerned with production part. So there are four number of workstation is there, and each workstation contains materials and variables, and the raw material customers are directly start from the begin point, and it should be passed from workstation 1 to second workstation, then third workstation, then fourth, and finally the finished product item should be reached at the end point. So this is known as product layout. If you go to the advantages, the economic of manufacturing, this is the most economic way of manufacturing time. Better production control is there, required less floor area for unit of production, flow of production will be smooth, less in process inventories, simplify production, planning and control the system, perfect line balance are considered in case of product layout. And these are the disadvantages. That is, product layout is known for its inflexibilities, and layout is quite expensive, difficult for supervision, difficult for future expansion. Change in product design may require major alteration in case of layout. And the last one is the breakdown of equipment along a production line can be disturb whole system. Going to the next one. So these are the basic difference between process layout and product layout. First one is investment. The comparatively low investment is needed in case of process, and in case of product layout, high investment in machine and equipment. The next point is duration of production. Production time cannot be economized due to frequent movement of men and materials. But in case of product layout, need less manufacturing time as the economy time can be planned in the beginning. The next is immolation due to breakdown. The breakdown of in case of process layout, the breakdown of any machine does not immobilize the whole system. In case of product layout, break down any unit and component, immobilize the whole systems. The next point is adjustability to change. In case of process layout, the flexible as different section can be uh, adjust the operations according to the operation. And in case of product layout, inflexible as the machine can be performed pre-design operation only. Then next point is floor shape. In case of process layout, require more space. In case of product layout, required less space. The next point is man and or equipment utilization. Comparatively better utilization of manpower or equipment in case of process layout, but in case of product layout, it is very less space. The next is next point is material handling. Involve greater handling of material requirement, more time, money, and effort. In case of product layout, lesser amount of material handling, comparatively less time, money, and effort. The next point is demand and supply relations. Coordination between demand and supply is likely to be difficult as these made to order. But in case of your proper coordination between demand and edge, these are made to stock. The control last point is control and inspection. In case of process layout, comparatively lesser efforts on control are needed. In case of product layout, more efforts on inspection and inspection are needed. The next point is
ସାର୍ କିଛି ଶୁଭା ଯାଉନି ସାର୍। क्लास सइला
लेफ्ट मारदेले
तो कथा भगवान सुनि देबे
गाइस कटा रेकॉर्ड होची।
ओए अम्लान सुनियो। अम्लान, अबे अम्लान सुनना।
हाँ बोलना।
अबे वो मार्केटिंग का वो अंकिता कुछ लेने वाली थी ना।
क्या
अरे
तेरा?
हाँ उनको बोलना भी है। अबे
हाँ
अमलान
अरे हाँ, कब एग्जाम एग्जाम
रिकॉर्डिंग
एग्जाम एग्जाम कब होगा?
अरे सॉरी सॉरी सॉरी, अंकिता मैम।
हाँ वही।
सबको को पूछोगे कब लेना है तो अंकिता हमको हिसाब से बोलना भी है ना।
हाँ तो सब तो यहीं पे पूछ ले।
गलती
ए
कर दी
केबे
बोल के यार।
पूछ ले पूछ ले, कब लेने से सही रहेगा पूछ ले।
उन्होंने ग्रुप में ऐड किया है ना हम सबको।
अरे अभी तो सारे के सारे है ना इधर, पूछ ले। तू है, मैं हूँ, श्याम सुंदर पांडा है, मधुस्मिता है, और 16 सुमित्रा भक्त है, 16 सुमित्रा 1998
हाँ सब
@gmail.com
लोग
है।
तो है, बट करना क्या है ये बताओ।
मैम को अबे
अरे
टाइम
कौन सा
बताने से
डेट
मैम
फिक्स
तभी।
करना
हाँ। कौन सा डे? विच डे?
रुको मैं मैसेज कर देता हूँ ग्रुप में, ये पर्सनल
हाँ
कर
कर ले
देता
भाई
हूँ।
कर ले।
ठीक है।
मते बहुत हस लगुच।
तू हंसी दे, तू हंसी की गाड़ी जा।
ये सब लोग कितने डरे हुए हैं ना, कोई अपना माइक ऑन नहीं कर रहा है।
अबे
अरे माइक ऑन कले भी किसी प्रॉब्लम नहीं, कहना सी तो ना रेकॉर्ड किए करिवो।
सेटा ऑटोमेटिकली होउची बेरा हो।
ऑटोमेटिक होता है बे।
दिस क्लास इज बीइंग
अरे
रिकॉर्डेड।
अरे ना 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 माने ऑटोमेटिक तो होउची हेले से आ आसिले तो सेटा को जा करिवे ना, से तो पळेले।
एक्चुअली सर कॉल करथिले, आसुଛନ୍ତି बहुत जल्दी।
ଆଉ କଣ 5 ମିନିଟ ରହିଲା କ୍ଲାସ, ଆସ 5 ମିନିଟ।
गाली वाली दे दो जो करना है।
सत्य तो जानबूझ के बोला था ना।
क्या? अरे नहीं 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 नहीं, जानबूझ के नहीं, मेरे को सही में याद आ गया था। अरे नहीं 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 नहीं।
रेखा यू हैव एनी डाउट?
रेखा
अरे
पार्टी
सार को
बोली बोली
सिस्टम हैंग हो गला, सिस्टम हैंग कौन करिया।
तो सारू कहि दे आज थाओ।
अरे सर मेसेज करछंदी बे सिस्टम हैंग प्रो सर।
तो सारू कहि दे केति की थाउ सर तो काली को अपनी क्लास करिया।
हमलन पळेला।
अरे से असाइनमेंट कौन था आपको कुछ पचारवानी के है बैकग्राउंड सुनन।
ସବୁ ତ ବାଥରୁମ ରେ।
ଆମ ଘରେ ଆପଣ ବାଥରୁମ କଣ କରିବି ମୁଁ, ମାନେ ଘରେ ତ ବାଥରୁମ ଟା ଥିବ ନା।
କଥା ଇକୋ ହଉଛି ତ। ଶ୍ୟାମ ମତେ କଣ ଚକଲେଟ ଗୋଟେ ଦିଅ।
कौन भाई
ଠାକୁର
କାଇଁ କଣ ଛୁଆ
बाहर
ହେଲା
है
ତ
नहीं?
କଣ?
अरे सर कहले हबनी आउ क्लास हला कि, तेणु
ହେଲା
छुट्टी
କି
पिला माने जाओ एंजॉय करो, सर मैनुअली पठे देबे
କରୁ
अटेंडेंस।
କରୁଛି ଦରକାର ତ ଅଛି
ହେଲା ରେକର୍ଡ ର କିଛି ମାନେ ରହିଲାନି।
जी सत्या पूरा दिल खोल के बोलो जो बोलना है।
अरे लीव मार दियो किसी असुविधा नहीं
ଆମେ
सार पर
ମାରିବୁନି, ତୁ
सिस्टम हैंगे
ଯାଉନୁ, ତୁ ଯା, ତୁ ସବୁବେଳେ ଫୋନ, କାଲି ତ ଫୋନ ସୁଇଚ୍ ଅଫ୍ କରିଦେଇଥିଲୁ।
अरे
ଆଜି
ना
ଯା
ना ना
ଠିକ
ना ना
ମାର।
ना फोन स्विच ऑन मु रखी दे की पळेइथिली माने गाध्याକୁ पळेइथिली फ्लाइट मोड ऑन करी चार्ज नथला फोन रे चार्ज बहुत जल्दी सरुची बे एथरे मु कहीं बुझपनी गूगल
କୋଉ
मीट रे
ଫୋନ କି?
जो भी फोन हो चार्ज बहुत जल्दी
ଆଚ୍ଛା
सरुची
ହଁ ମୋର ବି ସରିଗଲାଣି।
चार्ज बहुत जल्दी सरुची गूगल मीट रे आ 2 घंटा रे 40% 35% चार्ज सरी जाउची
ଆବେ ହଁ
ତୁ
ମୋର
କଣ
ବି କେତେ ସରିଗଲାଣି।
आ तू आ
ସାମସଙ୍ଗ କିଛି କାମ କରୁନି ବୁଝିଲ।
ନା ରେ ସମସ୍ତିଙ୍କର ହଉଛି
ମୋର ତ କାଇଁ ଏଲେ ହେଇନି।
तोर केते बैटरी केते की
କେଜାଣି ମୁଁ ଜାଣିନି, ଏଇ ମୋର ବହୁତ ପୁରା ଧତରା ଫୋନ ଗୋଟେ।
ନା ଧତରା ଆଇଫୋନ ଧରିକି ବସିଥିବ କହିଲା ଧତରା
ଆଇଫୋନ ଧରିନି, ଧରିଛି ହେଲା ଫାଲତୁ କଥା। ଗୁଡି ଦି ଜାଣିଛି ମୋ କେସ୍ ହେଲା, ଗୁଡି
ତୋର ତ
ଜାଣିଛି
ସାମସଙ୍ଗ
ସେ
କୁଆଡେ ଗଲା କି
ଦିଦିଟା
ତୋ
ଫୋନ
ସାମସଙ୍ଗ
ରଖିଛି, ସେ ଦିଦିଟା ଫୋନ ରଖିଛି, ଆଇଫୋନ ବି ରଖିଛି ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ଧତରା ଫୋନ ବି ରଖିଛି। ସେ ଲୋକଙ୍କୁ ଧତରା ଫୋନ ଟା ଦେଖଉଛି କଥା ହଉଛି, କିନ୍ତୁ ଆଇଫୋନ ଟା ରଖିଛି।
ଦେଖିଲୁ ଦେଖ ନିଜେ ଏଠି
ବୁଲିବାକୁ ଗଲା
କହିଥିଲୁ
ବେଳେ
ଟି
ନେଇକି
ଗୁଡି ଦେଖ
ଯାଉଛି।
ନିଜେ କହିଥିଲୁ ଟି ଗୁଡି ଦିଦି କହିବ ଦେଖ ଗୁଡି ଦିଦି କହିଲା
ବାଏ
ହେଲା
ବାଏ, ଯା ଖାଉନ ଯାଇକି। ଗୁଡି ଜାଣିଛୁ ଆଜି ବାଥରୁମରେ ଥିଲା ହେଲା, ଗୁଡି
ହଁ
ବାଥରୁମ ରେ, ତା ରୁମ ରେ ମାଙ୍କଡ, ରୁମ ବାହାରେ ଆଣ୍ଟି।
ଆ ତୁ ବିଲିଭ କରିବୁନି
ଆରେ
କାଲି
ପଶିଗଲା।
ତୁ ବିଶ୍ୱାସ କରିନି କାଲି ବରୁଣ ସାରଙ୍କ କ୍ଲାସ ବାଥରୁମ ଭିତରେ କରିଛୁ, ମୁଁ ଫୋନ ଥୋଇଦେଲି ଉପରେ ମ୍ୟୁଟ କରିଦେଲି ଗାଧେଇଲି, ମାଷ୍ଟର ଯାହା କହିଲା ମଝିରେ ପଚାରିଲା ବେଳକୁ
ମୁଁ
ସାୱାର
ତ
ବନ୍ଦ
ପ୍ରାୟ
କରିକି
ଟାଇମ
ମାଷ୍ଟର କୁ
ମୁଁ ତ ପ୍ରାୟ ଟାଇମ
ଗୁଡି ତ ଝାଡା ବି ପଳଉଛି ଫୋନ ନେଇକି।
ଭାଇ ଏଇଟା ବହୁତ ମାନେ ବକା ଆସିଥିଲା।
ଆଉ ପିଲେ
ମାନେ
ଯା ରାମ
ଗଲେ ବି
ମନ୍ଦିର
କିଛି ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ
ପ୍ରତିଷ୍ଠା
ନାହିଁ,
ଦେଖିବ
ଗଲେ ବି କିଛି
ଆଉ
ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ ନାହିଁ।
କିଏ ପଚାରେ ଖାଲି ଟିକେ ଇକୋ ହବ ଆଉ କିଛି ନାହିଁ। ସେ ଖାଲି ଟିକେ ଇକୋ ହବ
କୋ
ଆଉ
କାଇଁ
କିଛି
ହବ,
ନହେଲେ
ସାର୍
ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ
ମାଇକ୍ କାମ କରୁନି, ସାର୍ ମାଇକ୍ କାମ କରୁନି, ମୁଁ ମେସେଜ ବି କରୁଛି।
ମେସେଜ କରିଦବ ଛାଡ
ହଉ ଠିକ ଅଛି, ଯାଅ ସବୁ ଖାଇବା ପିଇବା
ହଉ
ଶୋଇବ।
ଯା ଯା ରାମ ମନ୍ଦିର ପ୍ରତିଷ୍ଠା ଦେଖିବ ଯା
ହଁ ହଁ,
ତୁ
ବାଏ
ଯା
ବାଏ।
ଯାଇକି
ବାଏ ବାଏ
ବାଏ।